outer space, in outer space, in outer space, 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 in outer space, in outer space, in outer space.
Alright. Welcome to episode 00000015 of the Vast Difference podcast. I'm ThugLife.
And I'm Charity. And today we're going to talk about skin. I didn't hear what you said.
An advertisement from our advertiser.
This episode of Vast Difference Podcast is brought to you by the Blue Yeti compression microphones. Notice anything different about I and ThugLife? That's right, you guessed it. We got high-tech, high-fidelity, high-dollar microphones in front of our faces. Compliments of the VD carriers and Blue Yeti condenser mics incorporated. Visit Amazon.com/blue-yeti to get your own, or become a world-famous podcaster so they will sponsor you and send you a free one, which is probably easier because these bad boys are expensive.
Yeah, thanks a lot to Blue Yeti for these awesome microphones.
Yeah.
We had such janky sound up until this point. I don't know if the viewers could understand that we were recording through like old telephones.
And then we had like a 2 tin cans and some string.
From Peru to South Korea. And then we tried to fix it in post-production, but a lot of times it was obviously not working. So we're still kind of figuring out the mics, and I'm currently holding up a T-shirt, stretching it in front of my face as to use as a makeshift pop guard. We're almost there. We're getting there little by little. You know, becoming a world famous podcaster isn't something that happens overnight. It takes about 16 episodes to get into the swing of things. So I think we're right on schedule.
And now, we're good. We're doing it well. And one thing that I want to say is that the advertisement that you sent me has the Amazon page link in it, and Amazon is not working on my computer right now.
The link is broken?
It's like, it doesn't exist.
Come on, Blue Yeti. Be professional. If you're going to do an advertisement, at least send us a working link.
Yeah.
Notice I shifted the blame from you. I was going to say, come on, Charity, be professional. Test the link before we do the advertisement. But, I'm turning over a new leaf. We're a team.
Exactly.
It's us versus the advertisers versus the world. No, us and our listeners versus the advertisers.
We're all in this
We
together.
hate our advertisers.
Yay. I wish I could give you a high five right now, but you're kind of holding a T-shirt in front of the mic, so your hands are occupied.
Yeah, and I'm 12,000 kilometers away.
And that's true, too, but we could have pretended.
But soon, in 1 month, I will be back on the right side of the world.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I won't have to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning to record this podcast, which is why my voice sounds like this, by the way. This is what I sound like when I wake up before I've had high fructose corn syrup.
And he has a super fluffy morning face.
But yeah, only 1 month left, and then I'm moving back to Japan. Oh, I can't wait.
And we won't have to fight over time zones.
Yeah, it's been so confusing. We're like, okay, we'll record it Peru Tuesday morning, Japan Friday night. Just the time difference gets really complicated.
So that'll be easier.
All right, so what was your topic?
I was just about to say the same thing to you, and it sounded like you said, because I started talking at the same time you did, I thought you said, what was your topic for dinner? And I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense. But anyway, what was your topic?
Mine was sleep deprivation, because I'm sleep deprived. And most of the strife and the trials and tribulations in my life come from being sleep deprived constantly. Because no matter what I do, no matter where I go, there's always something that wants to wake me up at 4 a.m. For example, when I first moved to California, my neighbors had chickens, roosters, in the middle of the city. And every day at 4 a.m., they would start crowing like maniacs. And when I just couldn't take it anymore, I walked over very politely and I explained to them, I don't want to be a rude neighbor, but these roosters are crowing in the morning every morning, and it's really difficult to sleep. Turns out they were illegal aliens, and so they were really scared. They're like, oh, yes, sir, we'll get that taken care of right away. And they sent them back to Mexico with one of their cousins, which I felt bad. I was happy they were living the American dream, and I support everybody coming to live in America, but they were just so easily obliged. I mean, they just complied with everything because they didn't want me to deport them or something.
Wait,
like that. I wouldn't have. I love everybody.
Okay, so who sent who back to Mexico with their cousins? Did the people send themselves?
No, they sent the roosters back to Mexico.
Okay. Those poor roosters, you know, they wanted a piece of the American pie also.
Poor roosters got
And
deported. I
they,
didn't even
you
think
know,
about that.
got sent back to
Oh,
Mexico. You're a monster.
I know, but it was because I was sleep deprived. Normally, I would have been a nice guy, but sleep deprived Thug Life woke up and asked them to please do something about the roosters. But so then every time I move to a new place, I always try to do lots of research to make sure it'll be a quiet place to live.
And make sure there are no roosters.
Yes, exactly. Make sure there's no roosters. And the last apartment I moved into, I got a bedroom that was far in the back, away from the street, because that was a problem in another apartment that was right next to the street. So traffic all night in the morning. But I found an apartment that had a bedroom way back in the back. And so when I was inspecting it, I told the landlord, yeah, I'm looking for a really quiet place. So it's good that this is back in the back. You can't hear the traffic in the back room, right? He's like, yeah, no, you can't hear any of the traffic. Paid my however much it was to move in for 3 months on Airbnb. Moved in. Next morning at 7 a.m., insane construction. Right behind the house, right next to the bedroom. There's no way I could have known except if that awful landlord would have said, yeah, you can't hear the traffic, but there's going to be a jackhammer going at 7 a.m.
I mean, the jackhammer is why you can't hear the traffic. So
Exactly. And then this one I moved into, I walked around 1 mile radius, making sure there was no construction sites, making sure there was nothing that seemed like it was going to be a ton of noise. All set. Turns out, though, one of the buildings next to my building is a middle school, and they have band practice every morning at 6:30 on the roof of the school,
on the
equal altitude of my apartment. So I'm getting woken up. That's why I'm awake right now, actually. But at least this one I can kind of get behind because, you know, it's kids working hard, developing their talents, working together. And they've actually gotten surprisingly good. This song that started out sounding really bad is sounding, you know, ready for halftime. So,
God. Oh my God.
my sleep deprivation isn't in vain at this point.
You have like the worst luck, but I feel like you would be the last character to die in a Freddy Krueger movie. So,
Okay, well, that's all
you
I
know,
did.
silver lining.
I've got this app on my phone that makes like white noise, brown noise, pink noise, lapping waves, rain sounds, heartbeats, all kinds of different sounds to soothe me to sleep and keep me asleep.
Yeah.
I just have it blasting all night. So that when noises start in the morning, my ears don't notice them. And I've been following this new invention that's called the Cocoon headphones that supposedly you can put on and it's going to like cancel out noise and it's going to track your EKG and brain waves or something like this. And I have a dream someday to invent like this pod that goes over your upper body and it blocks out all sound, keeps the temperature nice, blocks out all light, and it's just kind of like a future sleep pod. That's what I think we'll call it.
Man, I don't know if I'd want to be in a totally sensory deprived environment while I'm sleeping, though. I like to be alert about what's going on around me. What if something happens and you need to wake up, but you can't hear it because you're in this little sensory deprivation pod?
That's a good point. But in all honesty, if I had to trade sleeping well for the rest of my life and possibly dying because I didn't wake up, I would definitely risk it. It's so difficult to live when you haven't slept. You're just like cranky and irritable and you're like lethargic and not responsive. And I would just rather completely sensory deprive myself, get solid 7 or 8 hours of sleep and just risk it. Maybe I'm going to die in a fire. I don't care. That's good.
I can't really see that point of view because I've, never had a problem going to sleep. You know what I mean? You're talking to the person who fell asleep in rush hour subway while standing up. So
that's incredible. You're a superhero.
And my friends always laugh at me because whenever we go out to bars or clubs, like there's loud music pumping and everybody's being loud. What I do is I get a couple of drinks, then I take a 30-minute nap in a corner somewhere, and then I wake up and I'm ready to go again.
Nice.
So
that's my kind of party.
I always get teased for that, but it's very restful. Drink, let your body absorb it, and you wake up and you're like, oh, woo, let's party.
That's awesome, and that's cool that your friends just accept that.
Yeah.
When Charity's taking her nap, she'll be back to party in a little bit.
Yeah. they just leave me alone. They're like, have you slept yet? They always ask me, have you taken your nap yet? I once was going to this club that when I first got to Korea, it was very popular here. And the owners, the first time I slept there, they were so worried that I was had alcohol poisoning.
Oh, no.
And then my friends had to be like, no, she takes naps. And now, when people go tell the the bartender or whatever, oh, there's a girl, she's passed out in the corner. I'm like, nah, she's fine. She's just taking a nap.
That's awesome.
She'll be up in like 15, 20 minutes. Yeah, can't imagine being sleep deprived. The only time I ever experienced that is when I'm jet lagged. But then, like, that's such a. I don't feel bad when I'm sleep deprived. I feel interested. I feel amused. I feel fascinated because it's like 12 p.m., 12 noon, or 1 p.m., and my body is like, okay, it's bedtime now. And my brain is like, wait a second, body, are you crazy? Like, it's daylight outside. And then it's really interesting to me in that time to monitor my sleep patterns.
That sounds like a wonderful life. So I think back in caveman days, I would have survived more because like any tiny little sound of a saber-toothed tiger approaching would have woken me up and I could have ran away while the saber-toothed tiger ate you. But now, I mean, you're a superhero. You're further evolved than me because in this bustly modern world, in order to be able to live a happy, productive life, you have to be able to, sleep through all kinds of crazy noises. And you have that and I don't, and I'm extremely jealous. I will be every day for the rest of my life.
Well, by the way, if you're gonna like listen to sounds throughout the night, you might as well listen to music. I mean, can you listen to music while you sleep?
No, because I love music so much. Like my brain would just be enjoying every note, and it wouldn't be.
I've been listening to music while I sleep since I was in like high school, and let me tell you, sometimes your dreams have soundtracks, and it's like the greatest thing ever because you're having this random dream, and then suddenly you hear the song, and your dream changes to match the song or the tempo or the mood of the song. Cool. It's great.
But yeah, how do you do it? Every time a new song starts, doesn't that jar you awake? Doesn't you think, oh, the song's over, or oh, the song's about to be over, or oh, in 2 minutes this song is going to be over?
No, because your brain only picks up some of it. Like my brain doesn't listen to the whole song while I'm sleeping, or the whole time I'm sleeping. It doesn't listen to the entire music collection. But every now and again, wow, I can't talk right now. Every now and again, it picks up bits and pieces of the music, and then that part gets transferred into my dreams. So, for example, one time I was dreaming about something, and I remember at one point I started singing this song, and then in the dream I was trying to have a conversation, but this music kept playing, and I kept trying to turn it down, but it wouldn't go down. Because it's outside my dream. I couldn't control music outside my dream, but it was like really annoying at that time. But other times it's been like really cool, like, oh yeah, we're running now, running in style, or yeah, we're flying now.
I wonder if I find like a song that does pretty smooth, pretty mellow, doesn't have a lot of dynamic changes, and just somehow like make a loop in GarageBand where it never ends and just goes on for 8 full hours.
You could do that.
I could probably sleep to that.
YouTube has videos like that.
Okay, I'm gonna try that. Okay. I've also been looking into how to make really efficient transitions. Okay, talk about your thing now.
Let me just tell you, what you say is funny, but now with that t-shirt held in front of you, everything you say is like 10 times funnier. Because all I can see is like your nose and your mouth. So you just look so serious. Because when you tell jokes, my clues are in your mouth.
Oh, really?
I can't see your mouth right now. So yeah. Well, now after we talk about your thing, my thing seems so boring.
What was your thing? I didn't hear it. It was too boring.
Skin.
Skin?
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it is, but not as interesting as sleep.
It's probably at least as interesting as sleep. Maybe more.
I don't know. Well, I guess if you didn't sleep, you'd die. And if you don't have skin, I don't know if you'd die, but it'd be a very painful existence. And you'd wish you were dead. But yeah, skin is weird, man. Like, it's this thing that regenerates and heals itself, and of course, we know that it's the largest organ in the body, but I was taking a shower today, and I was like using soap, of course, because that's what you do when you take a shower. But I was trying to like wash my face also, but I was like, can I use the same soap on my face skin that I use on my body skin? And sometimes you can't because the soap is too rough. So your skin has different like strengths. Like your leg skin is much stronger than your face skin and your arm skin is more stronger than your like back of your neck skin or something. Like different parts of your body have different strengths and